no education, no proper infrastructure for social development. The black people had to use their own self. That use them self, meaning them foot and them hand, and critically, the brain, to coordinate the body into doing certain activities. And so, recreational sport, playing, wasn't something that was designed for black people to enter and to achieve any success. This entire arena of activity in the Western world was all about recreation for the white people, the planter class, the rich, and the wealthy. Recreation, where they would exercise to relieve them stress when them tired of robbery. Them had an outlet to relieve of the barbarism and the brutality where them keep up against it. Them go out and they play golf. Or they play tennis and they exercise. So for black people, this was never any avenue of recreation. It wasn't even available to I and I. So if we recognize now what is happening here in 2015, what is it black people have grabbed onto, particularly here in Jamaica? And what is it that we really should be doing with this resource? This resource that is coming out of the guts of the black people here, the African people. And so when we get into identity now, we want to speak to who are really these warriors representing the nation in international conflict. Because that is what international sport is. International competition. Competition between nations. So it's war on the track. We have to understand the battle that sports represent. And once it's not recreational and it's professional, it's war. So the black people here on the island now, though I have been denied access to the education to the highest level, we've been able to use our internal fortitude and transform our state of being and social living through sport. And the most basic sport is boxing. Next to that is track and field, basically because you don't need much equipment. You can run basically naked or with a tongue. No equipment. So it all comes down to the eye within. Because everybody has a body. It's about the eye, the driving force, the will that the eye is going to generate. Along with the skeletal structure, because you have to have muscles and things in place. But the driving force is not the body. The driving force is the will. It's the eye. It's a liberating energy that African people turn to. Because nothing was provided once we were taken off and released on the plantation. Nothing. Nothing. And when you have nothing, you have to turn to what you have. And what you have is yourself. You have yourself. And when you begin to explore yourself, you begin with your own body. So you have heart and foot and lungs. And you begin to re-examine yourself and see what can you get out of yourself. So you see the running thing now? It's coming out of self. The grit, the determination, the experience of black people now on this plantation. Because remember now, it's a long time we're running. We run from horse when Englishman are chased for a long time. While I walk from St. Thomas, Stony got to Spanish Town, through hills and valleys. So we're super fit long time, you know. We are super fit people, long time, but we never have anything organized. So athletics has been a very important outlet for the people of Jamaica, the black people now, the poor people, the children of the poor people. The children of the wealthy didn't have to engage in sports beyond recreation because they already had the key element, which is money. And the money now becomes the motivator now and the transformer. The society was set up in such a way that you could only get money in the society if you were quote-unquote educated. And educated means that you have to go to the schools and the system that them organize. So it is steep. So we used to say it's only the bright children could achieve. The bright children. And what that was saying that the children who were not bright but could be great runners didn't get a chance. because running now wasn't considered academic. It wasn't considered. There's no consideration about running. It's play, so it's idleness. But you see, black people here, we're coming from a generation and some set of people that nothing can stop us if we put a self into it. And so from the early 50s, athletics in Jamaica has begun to be a platform for which the black people in the country could get some respect. Athletics. And because of international competitions like the Olympics, I was able to get onto the international stage, become globally visible, and ultimately in a position to begin to make statements that would affect the world globally. So I don't want to underestimate the arena of sport, but at the same time, we want to juxtapose that against sport as a sort of religion that is being used now to control the minds of the poor people. We're looking at both situations in the metamorphosis.
Yes, hallelujah. Come free me, come free me, come free me. Yes, hallelujah. Come free me, come free me, come free me. Come free my brothers. Come free my sisters. Come free the people from this living evil. Let us form a circle of life with stronghold. Let us form a circle of life with stronghold to overcome this evil. Yes, this living evil. To overcome this evil. Yes, this living evil. It's like Antalan war. The evil push us there and they push us here. They never overcome us, never. Yes, hallelujah. Come free me, come free me, come free me. Yes, hallelujah. Come free me, come free me, come free me. It won't be too long. The evil going down, falling down. It won't be too long. The evil going down, falling down. Come, let's rejoice. Come, let us say hooray. Come, let's rejoice. Come, let us say hooray. Yes, hallelujah. Come free me, come free me, come free me. Yes, hallelujah. Come free me, come free me, come free me. Tears running down. Tears of joy. Tears running down. Tears of happiness.
Metamorphosis, continuing in the early stages of this exploration, making the linkages between sport as an arena that has been literally a site for liberation for black people. At the same time, we have to query the notion of that liberation and look into the side of sport that is really a tool used by the masses, the wealthy people, to control the will of the poor. Because once you begin to look into this aspects of advertisement and sponsorship and the owners of this multi-million-dollar industry, They begin to recognize that there's a great disparity between the performers and those who own the industry. So although individual athletes may get seemingly some ridiculous sums of monies for winning particular races, when you compare that to what is being made from the marketing side and the television side, it's chicken feed. So at a certain level now, there's a deep level of exploitation in the world of sport. So it's a two-edged sword. So rather than become totally engulfed in celebration, sometimes you have to also reflect that you don't drown into the event and you miss the message. This is not the first time Jamaica is achieving great success at international athletics. This is certainly not the first time. We have had our bouts. And people can remember 1998 when the Reggae Boys qualified for France. What a massive congregation, what a gathering of people. Political divides were no longer visible. Social divides disappeared. And everybody rallied behind the black, green, and gold, and the red, green, and the ice, green, and gold. Everybody rallied behind the culture of Africa and Jamaica. Everybody said them was Jamaican. Everybody said them as Rastaman. It was a oneness. Out of that event, we don't get a football stadium yet. Out of that great celebration, there's nothing tangible, much to display. Athletics have been producing great runners from the 1950s. And with great difficulty, a stadium was built for 1962. Norman Manley had to fight much forces in the country who opposed the idea of building a national stadium. So we're looking at that from the beginning. That from them times there have been forces in Jamaica who have been opposing the building of sporting facilities. Now, I'm not suggesting that those forces are gone, you know. I'm saying those forces are still here. Yet, we are producing athletes who are causing those forces to jump up and cheer and say, yes, we love Jamaica. So we have to really concentrate a little bit now on the paradoxes that facing our situation right here. So our only major playing site is the National Stadium. And I'm saying earlier, it didn't go up with a great amount of, raw. It was a fight to put it up. And since then, nothing significant has been built in the country. Yet, our football has been to the World Cup, the highest stage of football. When the World Cup players came back home, they came back to what they left. So, I don't want to dump nobody's celebration, But we cannot celebrate plenty time already. And when the celebration is over, the sport has not moved 1 ounce. What really moved is in the pocket of those who are administrators and marketing people, is for them pockets swelling up. In the general population, the consumers just spend. And so the island now, overall, we don't see no development from the infrastructural level. The people who govern the country still don't think it's important to invest in sporting infrastructure, but when the athletes win the medals, they are the first ones on the podium with them. Them is the first one they're taking photograph. Them is the first one telling you how much this and that and they love the country. Hey, I hear Horace Burrell say that our soccer players must learn that if they have to die representing the country, then they must die. I want our political leaders to make those same statements. We must hold them to the same thing that they're holding our sportsmen to. They too must show that they are willing to die for the country. Which politician will die for Jamaica? But them want both run out in belly for Jamaica and die on the track for Jamaica. I am saying, you see our sportsmen and sportswomen, them coming from out of the belly of the Jamaicans suffering. These are people coming from families and communities that have not really been given much support by the state or school for their own development. So much of the money development is through them own self. We can't say themselves alone because our country now has been blessed with coaches of international standard for athletics. That we perhaps have some of the best athletic coaches in the world now in Jamaica. This is out of the initiative of the coaches themselves. And the man themselves go out and get themselves certified. No necessary support from any infrastructure in Jamaica. So I'm saying to them, much of what I've been developing is through the people themselves. It's not through no support from the top down. If the top down were to wise up and to get conscious and begin to put in the pieces, we'd have a much better country. We may be celebrating more often, more than these once in a while things, but it requires a unity. So the unity now is not just because we win medals. We need a unity between those who govern, those who perform, those who train, those who coach. We need that type of unity. And the bigger question is now, why can't we not move that unity in the other areas of our life? Why we can't move that into the civic society? Why we can't move that into political society? Why must our successes be limited only to the world of sport? Thinking. Metamorphosis. I want to also bring into the front of the reasoning this confrontation and clash between good and evil. The media has taken over the athletic World Federation propaganda arm for publicity, and they have created a sort of battle between two forces. One is good and one is evil. And they projected the American Gatlin as a force of evil, and then project Usain Bolt as a force of good. And people like these dramas. And so in order to increase spectatorship and increase interest, the media, remember now, is the media creating this scenario. The man them don't really have nothing against one another, Just remember that. The man them is Africans. Man them is competitors. And sometimes we get caught up now with this American versus Jamaican drama and lose the foundation of who we are running against each other. It's black man running against black man. It's Africans running against Africans. All brought into the Western Hemisphere and put under colonialism and given these new identities. So you have a black man who emerged in North America saying that he's an American. And you have a black man on the island here saying he's a Jamaican. And the power structure now set these people against each other to prove who is best. And so we carry to an extreme that we think is about culture now. Whose culture is better. That the superiority that we demonstrated in athletics now, amongst ourselves, we carry it into other aspects of living. We miss the boat there, and we forget that we are the same people in the same plantation. Just that them give us two different identities set against each other. Nothing wrong with the competition, you know. But we have to learn to cooperate as black people. We have to recognize cooperation. Because we control the sporting industry over the last 100 years. Is black people are the top performers in every sport. Even in ice sports, we're getting there. So if we were to recognize that we were the dominant force, then we could have organized at a different level, you know. We could organize at a different level, but we are divided along the lines of cultural identity. And so the Americans now, blacks in America have been set against the blacks in Jamaica. And although we are superior on the tracks over the American blacks, we're not superior as black people. And not because the Americans have a great amount of resources and capital, mean they are superior to the blacks in the Caribbean. But, so in other words, we have to show them disparity there. And look at the world of sports and realize that it's the black people are the greatest performers. We are superior. We can claim superiority as a people in the world of sport. In the world of political society, them of us are slaves. In economics, them of us are slaves. In sports, we are still slaves. But we're getting big money. We don't own the industry yet. So this is the arena that we need to wake up in now. Because there's money. There's capital. And it's about managing and transforming that capital into positive uses in civil society. So we're in a field, black people, where we are generating large amount of monies. The athletes are getting some serious money for winning and for setting world times. Where does this money go? Who controls this money over the next 10 years? If we begin to think about that now, you know, because we have enough experience of black athletes becoming millionaires and multimillionaires, and when the time is over, them broke. Where does the money go? It goes right back into the system. So how much success is it then if all your earnings go back into the system and we're back to square one? So we have to revisit this concept of sport. In Jamaica, it's a liberating force because it brings with it an economics that allows the black people to circumvent that educational framework that them set up that very few can succeed once they go through. There's a bigger problem here in Jamaica as well. Because when our athletes come back as millionaires, there's a petty envy in the intellectual and the elite people who think that the best way or the most respectable way of achieving money is by going to the university, getting a university degree, getting a proper job, and then earn money. The Africans have recognized that they can short circuit that journey and become outstanding in sports and begin to earn bigger money earlier. It's causing a problem in the society because them say, boy, you try to get the money too quick. You must go the educational route. But look at it. The end result is about the money. So the value of the education, how do we weigh the value? Is it about how much money we can get at the end of education? Or is it about how much we can own our own resources? The athletes are in a better position. So I'm saying to the governance of Jamaica, this is an area that needs to be seriously invested in. Sports. Every parish should have a mini stadium, even 15,000. That would boost construction. We have to begin to use the sport as an economic center. We can attract international people here to come and train with the greatest sprinters in the world. Where are the facilities? So the basic is here, but the attitude is what is killing us. The attitude of those who govern. those who have access to the government lands, those who have access to the loans and facilities, with the changing attitude towards sport, to move away from that recreational, waste of time attitude to an arena where we can develop leadership skills, where we can develop monetary skills, where it can be a site for liberation economically, psychologically, politically.
Styles FM, you're my number one.
Do you have or are you seeking a place to rent, seeking employment or have a job vacancy? Are you selling a car or having a garage sale? Then come see us. Let Styles do the advertising for you and you'll be on your way in no time. Contact us at 876-286-9216 or 439-5160. Advertising Style. Advertise with Styles.
Remember Styles FM on social media. View us on YouTube, Styles FM Radio. Follow us on Instagram at Styles FM. Like us on Twitter at Styles FM 961. Become a fan on Facebook, Styles FM 96.1.
Hey, are you ready? You ready? All right. All right, let's go. Do you know what time it is? Do you know what time it is? Yes, it's on a Saturday. Every Saturday morning, live on Styles 96.1, the People Station. Here's an invitation to join yours truly, Colin Anthony, the man with all the money, honey. The program is called Smooth Sailing. Every Saturday morning from 9 o'clock until 1 on the p.m. It's gonna be on Styles FM 96.1. Have you got a plan? Oh, you've got a plan? We've got a plan. Do remember to join us. Smooth Sailing. The hour between 10 and 11 is brought to you by 7th Haven Health Rejuvenation. Upstairs Ramp to the Port Antonio. Health is wealth. Check them out.
Celebrating over 20 years of excellence educating Portlanders, the Institute of Business and Professional Studies advises all persons sitting CSEC and CAPE exams in 2016 to register in their day, evening, or weekend programs. Ask about their regular CXC classes and their Breakthrough Short Pass. If you fail, 100% money back guarantee program. Yes, if you fail, 100% money back guarantee. School starts September 14th. At IBPS, we guarantee the lowest subject prices in our regular program and the surest subject passes in our CSEC Short Pass program. Pick up the phone, call 574-1005 or visit IBPS upstairs Singer Building, Port Antonio. IBPS, a CXC exam center.
Giving praise, different way. We're not going to be going overboard because there is a catch to the drama. And within the success that the country is presently feeling, because international sport gives you a feeling of that affects the psyche of the nation. In other words, the results of international encounters impact the psyche of the nation. And every nation has a psyche. What is the psyche? Well, every individual has a psyche. Every nation has a psyche. P-S-Y-C-H-E. Look it up. P-S-Y-C-H-E. The other word I want you to look into is opiate. O-P-I-A-T-E. So, dictionary, you know, it's part of the metamorphosis. So you're looking at opiate. Yes. No. Critically. National identity. Everybody likes to associate themselves with winners. Many people now are calling themselves Jamaicans. So we want to really try to identify what are the elements that allow a person to say, I am a Jamaican. Is it a nationality? Or is it deeper than a nationality? Yeah, the Jamaican. Who is a Jamaican? We're celebrating because of not only the exploits of the males, but athletics has allowed the woman to express herself. And there has been no boundaries and no limitations, because the world of sport is really determined by the clock, how fast you can go. Distance is how high you can jump, how far you can throw the thing. It's all about the eye. And so the female now gets an opportunity that is unfettered. She's free. And in that expression now, we see something serious in athletics. Same ground. And in the island of Jamaica now, as much as we are recognized as a sprint factory of the world, we are first world power now, you know. The way the Americans say they are first world power in the military, we are first world power in track and field. And nobody can stop that. First world power. What the problem is, why we can't be a first world power in other areas? We keep asking that same question, you know. Why only track and field? Why we can't be a first world power in our social life and in our political organization? Why we can't be a first world power there? So we continue to try to draw lessons from sports, particularly track and field. The women now is really the first set of persons who bring medals to Jamaica in athletics. Is that the man them, you know? In the early 30s. Relay team, 4x1. Bring us the first medal. So we have a tradition from the 30s in Jamaica of success in international athletic competition from the 30s. So we're not a small nation now in athletics. We are a small island. But as a nation in the world of athletics, we are first world. But if you examine our infrastructure, it is nowhere near first world. So you look. So what you begin to see is the magic and the genius of the black people here. The people who can make something out of nothing, how the gods really were. Hey, we are gods here, you know. We are gods and goddesses. It shows in athletics. Yeah, man, we are super, you know. Look how we train and look how we do. And look when the world come together, how we shock out. Eh? You know, so say we have a might and power here that is being held down by certain other forces. Something holding it down, you know. And it has worked long time. And I wonder if the church have anything to do with that. I wonder, because I'm going to talk about Asafa. I'm going to talk about some things. Because does God play a role in athletics? Does God define who win the race? Does God have a winner? Or does God back our Gatlin? I don't back him because he used to take dope. We don't know what's going on, you know. Does God work in athletics? Anybody out there know? 4531444. You can call in tonight and give us some views on your sporting issues and so forth, you know. Because the women in Jamaica now, as we say, historically, have marked a serious trek. We're coming to Newville, Una Morrison. Some name enough people don't even know, you know, as women who have done great, particularly at the Commonwealth Games and the Olympics. In our more contemporary times, we know of Merlin Ottey. Most people in Jamaica know of Merlin Ottey. She was called the Silver Queen, the Bronze Queen. It's a very sad title, but she got much reprieve when undercover agents discovered the drug culture in the United States. And suddenly realized why she was coming third all the while. Because she wasn't taking anything. And when those who were taking stop, you see what's happening in Jamaica now and the rest of the world? We're coming around to that. You see the women have been very, very steady in their tradition to athletics, to the point wherein we had a Veronica Campbell-Brown, to the point wherein Sharon Simpson, to the point that we now reach where we have a Shelley Ann Fraser Price, of a pocket rocket, of a Jamaican woman is 3 times world champion, consecutive, unheard of. What is beautiful is that she's married. She named Shelley Ann Price Fraser. So maybe marriage work in athletics and we don't know. One day I'd like to interview that couple, make them tell you how they make things work and still at the top of them game. That is a skill, That is a skill to hold feelings and a relationship. And 2 years training hard and 2 year world champion, Shelley, you have some things to tell us. But the point is, if you give the black woman in Jamaica, just like the black male, certain amount of opportunity, we will grasp it with both hands. There is an example that the discipline is there for training. Everything is shown up in the world of sports that we can be successful. What is the problem in the other areas of life? Is it something organized that black people must just function only in sports and religion and entertainment? Where is the movement to politics? Where is the movement towards governance? And we're hoping that some of these performers, when their performing days are over, they will think about politics and governance and how to make not just the sporting arena better, but how to make civil society better. We have an election on the horizon. After these celebrations, we'll be going to our tribalism and division again of PNP versus JLP. This is something is wrong from the top down. So Jamaica, land of the black, green and gold. It does put a thrill through you when you hear the anthem play and the flag raise. It's a highly emotional event. You are told to stand at attention. That's a European convention, you know. I think we should be rocking to reggae music when the anthem plays. We think our anthem should have reggae night. But at the hear it, you know, it's at Jamaica. Something specific. But will the governance ever do that? Are we going sound like, say, we're going to boogie yagi? And we're not very British and Queenish. Yeah, man, we want to put the thing in the proper perspective and let the dominant culture emerge now. The dominant culture that we're seeing in our sporting world in Jamaica is African. Yeah, man, it's black people see how they're running off them butts from Jamaica. We don't see many Chinese out there. We don't see many Indian people. We don't see many other racial groups out there. We see black people, 99%, coaches and everybody. When they return to their island, is that the way it is? Or is it upside down? So we have to look at the sports now and look at our society. Look at the governance. Look at the issues of identity. So who is a Jamaican? So I'll find out carefully now, you know, because we have Rastaman now directly will tell us, you know, them is not Jamaican, them is African. So what is it that are we celebrating now when our athletes win? Is it a celebration of the Jamaican, or is it Africans winning? And if that is the situation or not, what then is Jamaican if it is not really nationality only? Does it go deeper than a nationality? A Jamaican. Because when you go abroad, you know who a Jamaican is. And it's reflected in behavior, in attitude. So I'm saying, is Jamaican really an attitude? Because it exists. It exists. So when Bowl cross the tape and beat him chest, is that a Jamaican thing? Or when we lick shot and the boy, is that a Jamaican thing? There are many people in the world who love to hear Jamaicans speak. Them like the rhythm in our lingo. That lingo is coming out of our African retentions. Yet Africa has a problem on the island. You say why we're suffering in our identities? Are we Africans or are we Jamaicans in this time of celebration? You tell me. 453-1444, international number. Just wrote it down right in front of me. 934-378-7973. 954-338-7973. Who is a Jamaican? What are the characteristics that make up a Jamaican? Because remember now, you know, we are 96% African. So we are struggling to claim Jamaica, but it seems convenient at a time when we are celebrating. That is good to say, yes, we are all Jamaicans. Is that part of our mental schism here where we can come together, except for certain occasions? And when the occasion is over, we return to our own little corners. People who live in abroad for centuries and decades, are you a Jamaican? I have not been to the island for decades. How do you maintain being a Jamaican? Can it just be language? Because we see some enough white man here sounding like them can talk like Jamaicans now. Say them have the patois down. So are they Jamaican too? You see what going on in the mix-up globalization world? So Rastaman, what you say? Yeah, he's not a Jamaican. So who is Bolt? Is Bolt a Jamaican? Or is Bolt African? Or is he an African and them don't know? I solve all of this, you know, by just recognize Doc Iman Blak. within these athletic meets, there is always a table that shows you who have the most gold medals and who has the highest standings and which nation really is the supreme nation in winning the amount of gold, silver, and bronze medals. Jamaica, for a small island, to be even in the top 5 is incredible. The country that usually wins, however, is the United States, based upon them size and population and the amount of teams they can enter and so on. The world was always a struggle between American forces and Russian forces. So games like the Olympics were an important site for defining whose society was superior. Not only athletes, but whose society was also superior. The whole concept of competition needs a little analysis. Because there's some people who think that competition is negative, because it breeds all kind of negative behavior. But can we exist without competition? Can there be improvement in society without competition? The world of sports shows that it is competition that makes athletes improve. You have to compete, not only against the clock, but against other individuals. Now, the American society generally speaks to competition as an integral part of its makeup, based upon capitalism, based upon free enterprise. On the other hand, now, we have the Soviet Union, who believe that the economy should be controlled by the state, and that state-run economies were more successful than free enterprise economies. And they thought that competition was negative because it set man against man. Ultimately, in the world of sports, it is a greater prepared competitor that usually wins. So competition is vital for development. There are people who think that capitalism is not the best form of social organization. But if you don't have competition, it's hard to improve. And so the world of sports has a parallel in the capitalist system. It's survival of the fittest. It is winner take all. And may the best man win. The other society speaks about sharing and caring. So a place like Cuba, for example, Cuba is not driven by free enterprise. So the sportsmen represent the society, and the money is not the motivation for their performances. It is really their representation of the state. When we look at a place like Jamaica now, our athletes are running on behalf of themselves. And so their returns cannot be controlled and directed by the state itself. So each man has an opportunity to become rich. In this framework, there is no system in place to distribute anybody's individual weight. What you earn is what is yours. At the same time, next door to you, you'll have a man who has nothing. So there's poverty. So the capitalist society, with its competition, has alongside it, it has a space for poor people. There is poverty. So there's a discrepancy now in free society like America, that there are free people, but you have the rich and you have the poor. The socialist societies claim that there should not be poor people and there should not be rich people. Everybody should have. But we realize that that is not realistic. And so we have to move towards the capitalist mode of survival, which is about capitalism, which is about creating money. The sportsmen have gone out and created their own money. And it is a sight now for poor people to recognize that our children can get an education, basic education, but we must make space for these youths now to develop their sporting skills. Because in reality, it is an avenue for great amount of earning. It is an avenue for employment. It's an avenue not just for performers, but you need medical staff, you need media staff, you need journalism, it's an industry unto itself. So I'm saying to the item now, and coming out of this section, that athletics has set a framework that it can be recognized in Jamaica as an industry. It will be taken seriously if the governing forces begin to invest in the infrastructure for the performers. So, for example, high schools, every high school should have a track. Every high school in Jamaica should have a proper enclosed track. If we're going to be a first world track nation, then at the basic level, a track should be in place. Fundamental issue in Jamaica is space. Space has been provided for the racetrack at Kemanas. It's a great money maker. We need more racetracks for our runners. It too can be a great money maker. Metamorphosis. Greetings.
Yes, brother.
Yeah, man. Go through. You're on the air.
Yeah, man. Thank you for that. Now, the greatest athlete, right now, we don't collect him medal yet, you know. The man who walk on Stony God.
Yeah.
The Spanish town.
Yeah.
He never have a track to walk and appear Mac and Stone them on the track.
See?
And we don't collect free medal yet.
You don't get a medal yet, eh?
No.
I tell you.
My brother, I'm glad for this program. I'm glad for it. I can't tell you how much I'm glad for this program.
All right.
And about 3 weeks ago, I asked to play music. Called Madam Queen, am I right?
Madam Queen.
Yeah. And I want the month of August done, you know, run it on the program.
All right. I don't think
them have it down a style, them have it down there. I know them have it.
Them have it. All right. All
yeah,
right.
man, it's there.
So you got all year time before the night done, you know? Because August are done fast, you know?
Because, listen to me now.
Yes, I.
England have some things the people of the African nation, and them have to release it.
Yes.
You know, see. And you just mentioned, say, boy, the youth, them go back at school, and enough of them parents and so now can find them back to school. Each Jamaican will come out of the African heritage deserve at least $3 million Jamaican dollars. You calculate that in a pound.
Yeah.
And the people of the African heritage must get it. Because the man who walk from Stony God, he never walk in vain.
Mm-hmm.
And the people who spend them time in the sun cut the cane and do all the hard work will never get paid. That's Africa run.
That's Africa.
Run Madam Queen for the people of Jamaica.
All right, my virgin. So yeah, I call him from Long Road.
Yes, I am.
Ah, so you say, I remember. I call. All right. Give thanks to yourself.
Keep up the good work, my brother.
Okay, positively.
Yes.
Every time I see Usain Bolt, I see a mandingo. Yeah, man, the man look like a mandingo. Because we are not regular people, you know. So who are we? Who are we? Who are we, this nation of people that have the whole world wondering whether what we're eating, what we're drinking. We have man look into it when we're sleeping, how we're eating. Them can't overcome the genetic powers inherent in the... It's not a man thing here, no. It's male and female. So it's a race we're looking at. A race of people who have the whole world looking at us. And yet them say we are the most violent country in the world. And yet we're the fastest runners. And we produce some of the greatest thinkers. Like the God Garvey. And like the Messenger Marley. Now we have the lightning bolt. What else do they want? You know what else we want? We want the people who govern this island, who call in elections very shortly, to find a way to sustain this jubilation the country's experiencing now without intervening with the PNP, JLP tribalism. What a whole to ask for. That is enough to ask for, you know. How can we sustain this good feeling of being respected globally? Why we can't bring that thing home? Why when we come a yard, everything broke down? Why man start ride bicycle all up on the wrong side of the road when we come home? Why we can't join the line when we come to Jamaica? Why as we go when we queue up? And as we come in we just start boogie boogie and bore. What is it about the atmosphere on the island that when you breathe it, you can't stay organized? Something is amiss. But the runners and the sportsmen seem to find a way around it. So there is hope. It rests in our identities, recognizing really and truly who we are. And the question goes on again, who is a Jamaican? Who is a Jamaican? Or is what? Do we ask who or do we ask what? What is a Jamaican? Or is who is a Jamaican? Maybe the who part cannot be answered by saying Jamaican because who we are Africans and black people and it done this so. Is a what? Maybe the Jamaican is a what? What is a Jamaican? That could be a better question, you know. And perhaps we'll find an answer now, you know. Because when you ask, what is a Jamaican, you know, hey, you know, you can't say anything. Yeah, man, it can't be on personality now, you know. Imagination expand. What is a Jamaican? Hey, it could be a giant. Anything you want to imagine. And we have experience now. And we have our story. And we'll check the what is a Jamaican now, you know. We have to go beyond and before the slave trade. You know, what is the nature of the people who were actually here before the British come? Who was in Jamaica before the Spanish come? Well, they tell us that they were Tainos. Hear this now, you know. When as a youth, them say, well, you know, they came and they saw the Arawaks and the Caribs. That is what them tell you, you know, education. basic school. No. 40 years later, 50 years later after independence, oh, we have done more research. And actually the people were not Arawaks. They were Tainos. Everybody say, okay, new knowledge. The people were Tainos and the language was Arawak. But who were the Tainos? Where them come from? What was them culture? How did they look? You see, if we start check out the Tainos, we start finding so them connected to the people from Mesoamerica, like all the Mayans and the Olmecs and the Toltecs. Close linkages with the Tainos. So you probably start citing all the history of Tainos now deeper than what the Europeans want to tell us. And that they've had culture and philosophy long before the Spanish come to this island called Jamaica. So the makeup of the people called the Jamaicans is not a who, it's a what. It's a combination of experiences of survival on this island. From the days of the Tainos, right through to the first set of Africans that come here, to the people now on this island that they call Jamaicans. Is a what? Is a power. Is a attitude. Is a makeup. Is something that Usain Bolt could draw upon and Chilean Price to be the fastest people on the planet. So I said this to say that, you see, in a way, as a people, we must stop doubt ourselves. We must stop put our praise and credit to the European people. We have to put more emphasis on our success. The sad thing about this thing, you know, is that all of our victories, we point to the sky. This is the worst part of our enslavement, you know. With all of our success in the world of sport, every time we have victory, we point to the sky. What is in the sky? The whole illusion that has kept us enslaved. Tied into our belief system now is this benevolent Son of God up in the sky. So you see, even though we're in our sports, them still capture our imagination. Because in many ways, sport has become the new religion for black people. But the religion still have the same leader, up above. Everybody pointing above and making the sign of the cross when them win. I never see a loser point up in the ground, up in the sky yet. The loser should point up in the sky because that's why him lose. Yeah, the thing up in the sky don't favor you, so you lose. So when you're cursed, you should have point up in the sky. Look here now. You see, up in the sky is part of the illusion. It's part of the deception that the whole African people must shake off. You say, when we win, beat your chest. Because it's you who win. It's you who win. We must begin to take credit for our own works. It's not anything above. No father above make nobody win. No father above. If there's a father above, it's the same father above make you end up in the bottom of the slave ship. You can't be so partial that the father above making you win races and turning a blind eye where we're suffering. So you see the world of sports, we can't become totally engrossed in that. And it's at that level we talk about opiates and opium. And can sport really be an opiate for black people? We will just get drunk and the sport function in us like a narcotic, a sedative, a tranquilizer, and calm us down from the brutality and the violence in civil and political society. Oh, sports. Wake up, black people. Remember, local number 453-1444, internationally. Internationally. Boy, may I tell you, it's in front of me. I soon tell you now.
Let's move constructively. girls and boys in the rain. Sha-la-la-la-la. There's some little girls and boys in the rain. Sha-la-la-la-la. Want some understanding, deep understanding about Rasta. Rasta no fire but Rasta. Rasta no hate Rasta. Rasta no fight Rasta. I love Rasta. I love Rasta. Let's move constructively. Tell the children, tell them, so we got to move on. Move on to the future. Oh yes, the new century. There's some little girls and boys in the rain. Sha-la-la-la-la. There's some little girls and boys in the rain.
Again, international number if you want to link into the Metamorphosis. 954-338-7973. What are you thinking?
More than Freddy, Rastaman. And when we moving along, we will be always singing Jaja song. You can come along, my neighbors, come along. You can come along, my neighbors, come along. Yes, Rasta. Yes, we're moving, we're moving. Yes, we're grooving and we're grooving too. Yes, we're dancing and we're dancing too. Yes, Rasta. There's some little girls and boys in the rain. Sha-la-la-la-la. There's some little girls and boys in the rain. Sha-la-la-la-la. They got to prepare. So remember, all eyes is on Rasta. All eyes is on Rasta. Let's move constructively. Be at the right place at the right time. Let's move constructively. Be at the right place at the right time. Let's move. Let's move. At the right time. Let's move constructively. Be at the right place at the right time. Let's move. Let's move.
Metamorphosis. The man Winston Rodney, aka the Burning Spear. Yeah, we got to move constructively. We got to be at the right place at the right time. That requires a meditation of the mind. Yeah, so the question is out there. And again, the text line going on with things. Sometimes I'm not paying enough attention, but Rastris, yes, I see your text. ALD coming from Chipso. Who else just give me a text line? Tell them I say all is well with them is and things and things. I will soon give you some more of the readings that is coming to the text line. International numbers is, as I said, right, that's what I said. So in the studio now, is my brethren who will begin to start off by providing our feed forward on the definition. We are asking the question, what or who is a Jamaican? I like the what part Yeah, can give me more scope for settings. But Makonnen is here. And yeah, I will give us your perspective of a Jamaican. By the way, greetings.
Greetings, my brother.
The I is here. In what capacity? As an African or a Jamaican or as a Rastaman? What is the I?
Well, I don't think there is any definition that could like separate a Rastaman from an African. You know, like right there, so like them ketchup,
yeah,
and it's set up. It's set now. But you see the Jamaican,
yeah,
the Jamaican is a misnomer.
Really?
Yes.
Tell us why.
But before I even get to that, you see, well, I could have basically said something now, but before I get to that, I have to go reverse a little bit in the history and look upon what Christopher Columbus, who never tell the truth, look at what took place when him the just come, him and him soldier them and him bishop. Them proceeded to annihilate on the basis of genocide an entire people. They said one them who them say was Arawak and Carib. And then later on them confessed that is lie them to tell and it's Tainos. All know them still don't know what was going on down here except the atrocities that they committed against the African people when they brought them here to replace the people whom them kill out. So you see, upon our arrival here, we were replacing a people who was killed out by the Europeans. The Europeans never have a plan that included our survival as a people. Maybe a 1 and 2 a week could have did survive. But it make the slavery so bitter, so acrimonious, so extremely debilitating that he was 100% sure that we were not going to survive. It is that high wall that him built that created in us the physical specimens that we are today. But we also have to remember, you know, when the European came to Africa, it's not a wishy-washy, quashy kind of situation him did come upon. What he came upon was a people almost at the zenith of natural living. The African was strong in excess as far as DNA substance and physical perfection. The man who was brought here into slavery was very close to that. During and after the slavery, we were able to maintain our physical structure because of the severe and draconian nature of the physical work that was put upon us, and also the fact that we were eating very good from our own grown provisions. Our survival as a people is what produced the Jamaican people.
What is that?
Well, is that a telling the man?
What is that?
From the story when I man reverse to the liar Christopher Columbus and then right yes or no, it is that amalgamation of all of those cultural attributes to which I referred that produce these people.
So why you say it's a misnomer then to call them Jamaican?
Well, look here. You
just can outline why they are Jamaicans based upon the amalgamation of experiences and things.
Watch I.
What I say?
Them could be Jamaicans, you know, but not in the sense that I take it. Man, I said Jamaican like is a final destination, or that such a thing could exist like a Jamaican race.
No, I don't know. No, I don't think that. I don't think anybody attaching race to the concept of Jamaican.
No, to the way man shout it right now.
Yeah.
At that time man I say
I don't get that feeling there though. Me don't personally don't get that feeling there. Because a long time I said Jamaica, and time I win sporting events.
Rasta.
From World Cup, where I said Jamaican, you know.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
But
you don't have no feeling of being African necessarily.
No. I man no even mention African in a Jamaican bread. Look here, the Jamaican Iman Blak is a misnomer because it is describing an experience almost exclusive, whereas Jamaican is not really an exclusive status. All of the islands of the Caribbean went through the same process that Iman mentioned a while ago.
Yeah, but all the Americans, people, but the response was not the same from the people on the same islands. The response was different. What you say?
The American black man also went through something very, very similar.
Yeah, but the responses could never be the same. The treatment was the same right across the board, you know. The same treatment.
When you talk about response,
yeah, man, response.
Just tell him, man, what you mean.
Meaning the Africans here could take with themselves.
You mean from the
riggers? From the riggers, yeah. The other man them couldn't go nowhere.
Oh no, man.
American black man couldn't go nowhere.
The American black man could have make a move. Yes.
Go where? You can't go nowhere else. Anywhere but still in America.
Hold on, Rasta. You even had American black man that travel from America high up in the mountains to reach certain part of Canada where slavery never exists.
Yeah, but them leave them try to leave America. You can't stay in America and deal with that. We stay at Jamaica and deal with the issue. We don't leave the island. We don't take away. We don't take ourselves.
I don't think you understand what I mean.
All right, clarity.
Saying. What I man is saying is that as far as being able to escape from the rigors of slavery, that is a minority amount, no matter which island you find them in, even on the American continent. Even though I'm gonna tell you, say you had a railroad that lead black people out of American slavery, it was a minority amount of black people. Every one of us in every island, in every continent, including South America, in Brazil, we went through the same kind of experience.
Why all of us are not Jamaicans then?
Because we were in different localities. In those localities.
So it's a name thing then?
Is that I tell you, is not no definition of nationality. It is more of a tribal heritage. The rebirth of the tribes since the Africans have come here. So you would have a St. Lucian people, you have a Barbadian, Trinidadian, we have a Dominican, we have a Haitian, Cuban. But you see, as long as you are black and you come from any one of them territory, you have the potential to run fast, jump high, any kind of sporting discipline. We physically capable.
But this is the African potential. This is not a Jamaican, Trinidad, and Barbadian. This is what the Africans can do.
Please remember now.
No matter where you put them.
No, please remember that we, the ones who came into slavery, I am saying that the slavery, when it did done, we came in as an excessively strong group of people, and when the slavery was over, we were even stronger because of it, simply because we survived. And that is what produced the different groupings, like the one them in Jamaica with a name Jamaican, but I'm telling you they are no different from the one them in Trinidad.
But I'm telling you, I know that there are great differences still because of how we express ourselves. The Trinidadian don't behave like a Jamaican. A Jamaican is a Jamaican anyway, see him go and behave.
Remember Iman
what you say about that?
Remember Iman said tribe?
What that mean now? Tell me about the tribe talk.
The tribes now, my brother, will always have very, very specific characteristics.
But the tribe, they mix up and brought here, Makunen. No one tribe no come out Jamaica.
That no is the end process I'm talking of. How they are going too fast, Rasta. The end product, not the beginning when we just came. Right now, at the end, we have become a Jamaican tribe. It's not no mix-up. The mix-up and the amalgamation.
Ones in Trinidad are a Trinidadian tribe.
Exactly, that's what I am saying.
So the tribe is a term for nationality then. You just a substitute try for nationality.
Well,
Where I say?
well, here I know.
Eh.
You could have said that.
But
But I'm not so much in this nationality
what is
business.
it?
because
Jamaican.
you see-
That's an issue about Jamaican, you know. People saying that Jamaican is a nationality. So you can't ignore that.
You see, I tell you, you know,
Yeah.
how the man them have it set up now.
Yeah.
Them want the Jamaican to feel extra special, like say him is even better than the Trinidadian.
At running, no, at running. Yeah, man, at athletics, we're better than them. Even though we can't doubt it.
Look here, it's
We
not,
are better than them.
It's
Them
not-
better we at soccer, you know.
is
That was that true.
look
That's
here,
it's true.
Look here, it's not just the running man.
Yeah,
It's-
man,
it's-
we're better
it's
than
not
that
the-
running, man.
And
We
it's
can't
not just
question
it's
that.
not just the soca or the reggae.
These expressions.
Is a direct, very, very
Yeah.
specific character traits
Yeah.
that each one of the tribe them have.
Nah, man, it's running. What about, man? Not specific running is running. Who can run fast? Guess who can run faster? That's what
Well,
sports don't know, you know.
you see-
It just bring it down to some basic attributes to test yourself.
Seeing.
So no matter which tribal group you're going, if you run faster, you're superior to you. I'm going to say in athletics, we are superior to all islands and all nations and races.
Well, listen,
So who's a Jamaican?
I-
That's what I try to find out, you know.
I man definitely agree with you concerning the superiority situation.
Yeah.
But you see, it is not a necessary construct once you enter into the dominion of black people themselves. You have to have another race of people on the other side, and then you compare them with the black people
No, man, in
to
sports.
produce
Yeah, but it's
that
in sports.
superior
No,
symbol.
it's in sports.
Yes.
We don't need that comparison because we have the time and we have a clock. And that we are run against. And that we are measure. We don't need nobody else around to show whether we're superior, you know. It's the clock. If both the 9.5 and the record is same to 9.5, a man do 9.7 and others 9.7,
You
both
did-
faster than him.
You didn't know that in the race between Bolt and Gatling, that the time that Bolt won in
Yes.
is not a time that is unfamiliar to Gatling, you know.
When both is not in the race.
He
yes.
has run faster
Yes.
than that.
Yeah, when both is not in the race, he has run faster.
Yes.
Yeah, but when both
I
is there,
just-
the feet slow up.
I just want to remind you of that.
I can remind you about Asafa too. Asafa is the king at sub 10. And at the final, them couldn't even do a sub 10.
Asafa have a slight problem.
No, man, I try to show you now, say, it's a performance and superiority. It's just what you do. And the Jamaican always produce the goods in athletics.
You see, if you ever watch what's going on in the other islands, you know, you must not make the mistake of thinking that them not catching up. You know,
catching up is that
them wake up according to the Jamaican kickstart.
Long time. But we are run from 1930s, you know. So if them a wake up now, they must have a long way to go still, you know.
No, then we catch up quick.
No, man, we still ahead. Our program is consistent, you know.
Trust me, you see all the Bahamian people.
No, man, that means you don't understand how our program run. They wouldn't catch up and go. Them we have a champs. Them do have not like champs. Them don't know, we don't look into the world that have something like champs. So them can't catch it.
Then we'll be coming here, man.
To learn, but them can't.
That is it.
Yeah, but them can't organize it. Remember now, you know, it's an organization from primary school. We have it, you know. We have it from the 1930s. I come to, you know, it's the most structured thing we have as a people and as an activity, you know. Why we can't organize in other things now is a problem. But they still want to deal with the issue about the Jamaican first. Because what I'm saying to that.
The Jamaican is the sum total of all of our experiences from the beginning when they brought us
all
here.
Right, those that include white people now. Can a white man be a Jamaican? Because him don't
Of
go through
course.
but him don't go through our experience.
Him was the man who created the experience.
All right, what about the Chinaman then?
Eh?
Him never go through it. The Chinaman not go through it.
The Chinaman go through
No,
some
no. So how can he then be a part of, how can he be a Jamaican if him don't go through the thing where you describe?
Look here, you see the process of becoming Jamaican.
Yeah.
It is not exclusive.
Okay.
It is inclusive of all of
So
the
you're broad,
behavior.
so you're broad no, that include even the oppressor.
Look here.
I thought it was a black. I thought that it was an African experience.
I man tell you from the very beginning says a misnomer.
Yeah, but
I'm not backing off of
So
that.
hold on now.
The fact of the matter is that there is no great glory in this thing called Jamaican. And the
In
white
athletics,
man.
no, in athletics you can't ignore it. In athletics, we're talking about, you know, Virgin, in a specific domain. Yeah, man. Yeah. We not take it out of that, you know.
You stay right in that.
Then athletics we're dealing with, yeah.
Well, I mean, clearly, we have shook the world.
That's the point I'm making. I'm saying that superiority that we show is being connected to the concept of being a Jamaican. You see? So we're trying to identify, make a know what is it that is a Jamaican or is a who? I follow what I say now, you know, about the experiences, the amalgamation of things and things. So that's why I said, you know, the Chinaman who's part of the island, not go through the line of where you explain to me. Him come Syrian. But him call himself Jamaican now too.
Him come slave too.
No, indentured are no slavery, man.
Yes,
no, man. No, man. You know, slave when you have land. Hold on now. When a man buy a ticket to bring you to a place, you're not a slave, man. When a man promise you money when you return, you can't be a slave.
Look here. The only damn thing that buy a ticket do. The only thing that it do
is give him land and property to the rich.
No man, it cause him to think say him come on him own.
No.
But that is same man who did build the ship and bring we him same one claim same buy ticket and put him on the same
ship. Yeah, but long
ship.
after him abuse we, him bring him in. When him done abuse we, when him bring him
the same ship, you know.
No, man, if him government thing bring him in, you know, China man, you know. Yeah, man. No. Government, man. A government to government relationship. A thief, them thief, you know.
Iman Blak?
Yes, sir.
I telling the man is the same position.
It's the same thing?
Yes.
That's what you want to hold that. Yeah. All right. Metamorphosis.
Styles FM, you're my number one.
Take us to work. Take us on the go. Take us wherever you go. Styles FM.
Take Styles FM with you on the go. The number for USA, 213-992-4360. That's 213-992-4360. And for the United Kingdom, 033-0010-3322. That's 033-0010-3322.
Styles FM.
Hey, this is me, brother Gary. I tell you, if you want to advertise anything you have, if you sell anything, truck, car, bus, anything you're keeping, make sure you advertise it past Styles FM. Call this number 439-5160. 439-5160. And I guarantee you, everybody I go into your business.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chungy has turned it up loud in your ears, waking you up out of your bed every Saturday morning with a jump start from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. The jump start with more music continuously all morning long with your host, Chungy. Styles FM, number one.
For the best quality in sound reinforcement and backlining, Native Audio. We have professional engineers with over 20 years of experience. So call us and we'll take care of your parties, wedding receptions, barbecues, conferences, and small stage shows. Crystal clear sound, Native Audio. Our prices are the best. Call us at 871-5212. That's 871-5212. Native Audio. We make your events audible.
We are
Greetings, Metamorphosis. Come in.
Yeah, Iman Blak.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We agree with the man Makonin, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You hear me?
Yeah, man, we listen to you, man. Speak up.
Yeah. So check this now.
Yeah.
I'm on Jatu on the phone with you. We called a few weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
Now, this is the point we want to make, right? If we want to shed the division of, this one calling Jamaican, Trinidadian, and everything else, and whatever name they want to give us, right?
Yeah.
If Jamaicans, or the so-called Jamaicans, are very good in athletics, a man from St. Lucia, a man from Trinidad, should be embracing this and say, look at what a black man or black people can do. You see what I say?
Yes, sir.
So by saying we Jamaicans are faster than this one day, then it creates some division in itself.
Yes.
By saying, you see what I say?
I hear you. We hear you.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
I think we should, if we should come together as a people, we should embrace, no matter where you're from, whether it be so-called Jamaicans, Trinidadians, Guyanese, whatever.
What should be the foundation?
Embrace each other.
What should be the base of our identity? What should we base our identity on then, if it's not the island that we live?
As Africans.
Africans.
No, because the way we see it, right?
Yeah.
The way we see it. If we come as a people, right? I could have been, say, from Grenada, right? Coming from the same tribe in Africa.
Right.
But circumstances bring me over on one side.
True.
Right? So by them bringing you, okay, a relative of mine in Jamaica, rest you in Jamaica, and divide me and take me into Grenada.
True.
Right? I am from the same lineage as you. See?
Yes.
But they have now divided us.
Of course.
So we now have to take things together and bring it in.
And reconnect the thing. Yes.
We are Africans, right?
True.
Achieving one thing. We don't know if you
yeah, man, who far?
makes sense to you.
Who far? So you say we're going to just expand on what you're saying, and then we really give thanks for the input because the eye is on the ball, you know. See?
Well, yeah, we're having some difficulty with the line, so.
Where are you calling from?
Florida.
All right. Give thanks and heal all the people. Give thanks for the link. And we heal all the people.
Say again?
We say we're giving thanks for your connection. And we shall speak to you to your thing shortly, here.
Heal Rasta.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're in the metamorphosis and we are engaging the public. And we're pushing buttons and making sounds in here. Beep, beep. Yeah. Now, the Virgin, let me just try to paraphrase and see what the Virgin was trying to say. If I get him right, I'm trying to make the point that these island definitions are not permanent. These labels of being Jamaican and Trinidadian and St. Lucian and Grenadian, these are not permanent identity labels. These have been constructed through history and through circumstances, through oppression and colonialism. I'm seem to be saying that at the basis of all the people of the region is this commonality that rests in our historical experience and location and home, land. And so perhaps the better way to identify ourselves would be to say that we're Africans. And within that context of being Africans, we can still celebrate victory based upon the island that you grew on. But at the deeper level of knowledge, we can begin to view each other as that different, that each island winner is becomes superior. Yeah, we have to be able to understand the whole dynamics. We are competitors, but we are an African people, brought here through hard circumstances, given these new identities. And Makunen, may I tell you, I know, the problem may not just be solved by claiming being Africans, because the people on the continent of Africa may not even fully embrace that term since it was given to them by the Europeans. The people had them various nation groups and titles. So me I think, say, as the Virgin said earlier, if we just recognize ourselves as black people, it may be easier, you know.
The term African is the current terminology that is used to describe I and I, the black people. We are now in the process of rewriting that, you know. It is very hard to really conceive it because it coming like say Rasta beginnings to humble. But the term Rastafari is destined to become the name of this people, a people called by the name of them God. It is early, very early days yet. But you see, by the time the armies of Rasta begin to march, it will be a whole different ball game. Right now, we talk about the nomenclator African, and we talk about Jamaican, we talk about Barbadian. All of them things there is just semantics. It not really a go nowhere because there is no way under the earth where the original man, the black man, should ever be in a situation where a definition of himself is not even certain. That is how come we in the problem where we're there now, you know. We in that problem because you can't just jump up and say, Rasta. I and I can do that. For I and I have declared ourselves to be that. The majority of people, them is struggling with being Jamaican and St. Lucian and a whole host of other titles.
What about the people who are Africans and not saying Rasta?
It's a process of time, my brother. That is to say, you can recall, like in a history. Yes, in a history, what you find is that the people them, like the African, would never give up his identity the way the Caribbean African lost his, you know. The African in Africa, even though his identity was assaulted, he never lose female identity the way we lose ours, you know.
Okay, therefore, where I put it now?
So it's really in dealing with the whole question of them over there, how them would look at us. We don't have to be defined in terms of the African in Africa. They brought Africans here and them divide and subdivide and then them go even further and fracture away until right now there is this huge vacuum, and every time a black man stand up, him dropping at it because him don't know himself. It is that knowledge that is eluding us, that knowledge that is defeating us, and it is through the invigoration of Rasta thinking that we're solving that problem. Iman is declaring that there is a time to come when the black people will be known as Rasta. And then that
black people alone?
The black people, like the descendants of the Africans who came here.
So what about the China?
Africans,
what about the Chinaman today who say I'm a Rasta? What about the Europeans? Or when they with those people?
I remember in our earlier discussion when you show I say directly the athletics here deal with.
Yes.
I man deal with the African.
You mean, listen now, you see what happened
No,
now?
I man not running from the question because you see.
But we can't speak in such general terms and that we want in the earth.
No, watch out.
Yeah.
Any man, whether him be Chinese, white, Indian, Eskimo, if him declare that his majesty and accept it, the black God is fiend God. Him is Rasta. I man not running him.
That's serious.
It's just that there would be certain regulations that would govern those people in the congregation of Africa. Because remember, you know, you were saying earlier that the Chinaman never got through what we got through.
Definitely not. Never go through the Middle Passage.
So, you see, those people who never got through what we got through, it is going to be very difficult to really have them feel what we did feel.
But you can't stop them from claiming what they want to claim. If they want to say them is Rasta, then you can't tell them that.
That's why I man say, once the man willing to bow to his imperial majesty and that him accept that position in the congregation, this Rasta man will allow him to praise his imperial majesty and shout the name of Rasta.
I'm having a serious conflict with that notion of people really, everybody moving to the identity where the ultimate identity is Rasta, because we have to go redefine what it is. You're going to have all kind of aliens saying about the thing. And we don't know, because we can say him do it indoors. So, I don't know if we can find an identity that is specific, that goes beyond being black. Because to me, that is once we reach black, we're going to different, because that's the basis where me know.
I am not going beyond black Rasta.
So now, a man like Bolt, a woman like Shelley Ann Price, these people will tell you that they are ambassadors for Jamaica. And that they represent the flag well of Jamaica. So, and these are the performers. These are the people who are making the rest of the world recognize that the island is here.
But the term presently in usage, the term presently accepted is Jamaican. So you see, what am I going to say them is otherwise?
But if they knew, but is there a reality to it, or is that just a configuration? Because there are other people in the world who are trying to also embrace that concept that they too are Jamaican, something powerful about it. We know people from Europe are trying to get citizenship and nationalization. They want to stay in Jamaica, they want to be Jamaican. So something tangible. There's something tangible about this thing called Jamaican.
Of course there is, my brother.
What is it?
What I am saying
what is it?
I have already defined that something, and I am saying that that something is no different in St. Lucia, in St. Vincent, in Grenada, are the same thing in America amongst the black people that define who is the black American. But him is no different from the Jamaican. Look here, if you take a black African American picnic and you transport that child into the yam country of Trelawney, I tell the man, you know, you give him an equal opportunity to run like Bolt, because him don't have the genetic structure based on the processes that we have gone through. And it is no different with the Haitian. This is what I'm saying, Rasta.
Yes, we know that because all of us are Africans. That's how we know that, you know, the Haitian and the American, the black man, we are all Africans here. But the exceptional in the performance is the one from this island. Yeah, because we go back to the world of sports again. Yeah, it's sports again too, you know.
Look here.
That's where the dominance is, you know.
Look here, I'm not saying anything against that. Right now is the Jamaican athlete that become the limits. You want to talk about athletics. You want to be around Jamaicans and so on and so forth. But it's only a matter of time, man.
Before what?
The other islands.
That is highly unlikely, because size is a factor. for the production.
Size is no factor.
Yeah, man. For players, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Look,
For
look
runners,
here.
man. For
Look
athletes.
here.
For athletes in the bridging.
If you try and put the Jamaican situation on a relativity scale.
St. Kitts is a parish, you know, in Jamaica, you know.
If you try and put the Jamaican on a relativity scale with the American.
No, not America. It's Caribbean we're talking about. We're not in America. America's a continent, virgin, man. What you want, sir? America continent.
I show the man, say if you try and do that,
Yeah.
you will see, say, Jamaica not supposed to perform or we are performing.
We're talking about Jamaica vis-a-vis the Caribbean islands. No, we're not talking. No, man, you jumped the boat now. We're not talking about Jamaica vis-a-vis America. We're talking about Jamaica and the Caribbean islands like a while ago. And you say they're going to catch up. And I said the Caribbean islands can't catch up. So you can't take the context on about America versus Jamaica. Mr. St. Kitts can't catch up to Jamaica.
Of course, man.
Mr. They can't because I'm small like Hanover.
It don't matter.
It makes a difference because you have to have number of athletes to perform, Virgin.
We in Jamaica would have had to have numbers to perform against continents.
No, but
we're beating the daylight out of continents.
No, we're running fast. We're not beating them in football. We're running leave them. We're not beating them. We can't beat them in football.
Remember, my brother.
Virgin. It's athletics we are talking about. Exactly. Someone says athletics, we are superior.
Yes.
So we're not just beating them because they're in America. We beat them at athletics. I'm gonna say a small island like Trinidad, like St. Kitts, will not catch up according to you over time.
We should never have caught up with America.
We don't catch up with America. We are ahead of America in running.
In the same way the little island them who is with brother.
Yeah.
Them is no physiological
They don't specialize
difference.
but they don't specialize in it. They don't have the infrastructure. They don't have the charms. They don't have the boys' charms. They don't have the infrastructure.
Then give them time now, my brother.
We said they don't have the size either, Virgin. You say sports?
No,
sports
them have the size.
Sports requires numbers, you know. If you don't have the numbers, you can't participate, you know. And the whole of your population not playing the one sport, you know. So it begin to narrow down to the number of people who participate in a particular sport. The whole island not playing it. So if you have 100 people in the island, maybe 10 of them going to play a particular sport. That is the pool you're choosing from. So that's a reality in sports. You cannot say them one day them going to do it. And that's the sports going to Virgin. You can project and you can plan based upon your resources. So Trinidad, St. Lucia, those places have a limitation. They can't go no more.
So Jamaica no have no limitations. And that you say?
In athletics, we have limited because we don't win everything. It's just sprinting. We're not powerhouse in high jumping and hurdles.
Rastaman.
It's limitations, you know.
Rastaman, all things are equal.
Where? Not in sports.
In terms of how you are said. Right across the board.
No, theory that. In sports,
anyway, you find a small population. You're going to have to really call that population deep and intensely to find what you're looking for.
For one sport. For one sport, that.
If you're looking at a continent, it's a bigger search.
We're not talking about America and Jamaica. You alone are make the comparison there. We're talking about we and the rest of Caribbean islands. We're not comparing an island to a continent in a Virgin. That's impossible. Just numbers alone. Resources alone, infrastructure, training facilities. It don't make no sense to do that too tough.
And Jamaica still beat them.
At sprinting, because we are specialists at sprinting.
We all have a girl who swim the daylights out of them too.
No, she come third. No, man, don't overdo this thing, Bridget.
No, she come first. No, she all have a world record now. She come first in the 100 meters breaststroke.
Makonnen. That's a blip in the world of sports.
I bad that saying
it's a blip. It's a blip.
I just give you the facts in the matter.
And I show you how you interpret facts in sports.
And she have the 50 meters breaststroke world record.
Yeah, wonderful. We are good individuals.
Still, I'm not sure is the breaststroke still, but she have a world record.
She named Ali Atkinson. We can tell you who she is.
Yes.
And she come by herself. Yes, she never come to the preparation in Jamaica too tough. Remember that too? So
a Jamaica boy.
No, I said the preparation didn't come through Jamaica. And in sports, the preparation is key.
What a wonderful thing though, my brother.
So the end result now that we're celebrating.
That is what I talk. What a wonderful thing.
So is she a Jamaican? Yes. We celebrate her swimming as a Jamaican.
Yes.
But you see what I mean, no? So it's something real then.
What is that?
Being Jamaican.
Oh, so what you think say man thinks I never there, so?
There is what?
Right, yeah, so. Because it's real.
Yeah, but I'm saying in terms of identity, you are saying it's a misnomer.
Oh, the term.
Did not say she's a Jamaican.
Why I man says a misnomer is because it's how we are cling to it.
No, but
like say.
But we're clinging to it.
Without that Jamaican
the swimmer
identity.
Is a Jamaican, you know. The
we
swimmer,
is not nothing.
Yeah, but that swimmer. Make her something. Because she's a Jamaican. The same swimmer you just point. She make her feel like we're somebody now because she do something in swimming. So there is an effect on the psyche.
You see the work where she do?
Yeah.
What Iman would have want to happen, you see? You see all the little man down in a Tortuga, you know, or Tobago, the little black man round the corner. Me would have want him glory in a way she do. So that we get a clear understanding that it no matter where you is as a black person, you see how them all set we up so that you find Bahamas around against Jamaica in a world championship.
Yeah.
Them thing the man is them thing there.
So you say that shouldn't happen?
No man. Rasta fi fix that up.
No, I say that shouldn't happen then. May I ask you?
Look here, Iman could never say it shouldn't happen because it happen.
No, but can you go without this competition better about? How can you have sports without competition?
But we should not compete against one another.
So how you going to know who better? That's what sports is about. To find out who's better.
Look here, where we need for the remember, so we don't conclude the superiority.
No. Individually, no. You versus me, no. As a sports player, yeah, you can play table better than me. What for play for no?
I'm gone all the way, but I kind of afraid, you know. I'm gone all the way to the black man against the white man.
No, but the China man, they about to, we can't have the black and white context all the way.
But if you notice the China man, though, you know, in this World Games, you notice how him prominent.
But it is not for him country, brethren.
I know that.
He's supposed to be prominent as a host.
Him don't prominent as a winner, you know. But him prominent on the track.
Him supposed to enter every event. That's how it go when you're the host. That's a privilege again.
So it's like him blink eye man eye. Because I notice I see him in every move.
But him have to be there. Him is a host.
Him now win though.
No, him is a host. Him making sure that the winners are taken care of.
I want to tell the man something else, Rasta. You see if you give him time?
Yeah.
Give him time too.
You get so I'm now. It's a true him do have the experience of the traditional black people in this hemisphere. Him can't fast like we. No matter how much time him spend.
So?
Yeah, we have to DNA it in our DNA already.
Yeah.
We run from horse long time.
Hey, oh Africa. From Babylon, cause are you corrupt, the ghetto youth, we don't know wicked act, who know Babylon. When me walk, I trample down Babylon, talk and ride down Babylon. Who know always they are with your clans and plans, won't come trapping the man, who no think, who no can come take Mama Africa from we again. No, who no can come take Mama Africa from we again. Who no think, who no can come take Mama Africa from we again. No, who no can come take Mama Africa from we again. True religion, you bomb down a Lebanon. Lick yourself and a blame Afghanistan. We do no tricks and cons, implement a plan. Then you go dig down Saddam. We see you a draw nearer and nearer. But the Isle mama got now go share ya. Oh, me nah get scared fi defend the square. Oh, Pasha Shama long girl, who no can come take Mama Africa from we again. Who no think, who no can come take Mama Africa from we again. No, who no can come take Mama Africa from we again. Who no think, who no can come take Mama Africa from we again. Them no like when we are dinner at the hills. Them want we stay here fi pay them bills. When you think say you are safe, little cabbage. Them man wanna count out.
Yeah, Metamorphosis continuing, looking into Alkebulan and Africa and thing. No, you see athletics never start in Europe, you know. And athletics never begin with the Greeks. Because we tend to think everything begin with white people. white man start everything. So we feel the white man start running on Olympic Games and everything start with the Greeks. We get the impression that civilization began with the Greeks. Of course, Africans were in the caves. We were living in the caves with the monkeys and all of that type of thing. That them tell we. They were civilized, and so they organized games, festivals that became the Olympics. Well, really, in Greece, it was really a combination of city-states that made up Greece. And these states would have festivals and games, and when they came together, it became known as the Olympics. But you see, before Greece, there was Africa, and there was China. And our early insight into sports in Africa came through the movies. When they were showing us those Moses show. You remember when there was a show with Moses and Pharaoh and the Bible story them always a show with chariot race. So me as a youth always said, why they love to race one of them chariot there, And so horse racing was an early part of Egyptian African culture. In Europe invented horse racing, Some of the greatest horse racers were in Egypt. Like most things began and developed in Egypt. So you see running, Olympics running. Olympic is just a term based upon a place in Greece and the mythology of the Mount Olympus. But we have been athletes for the longest time. And if you look in East Africa has produced the greatest marathon runners in the history of athletics. East Africa, the Ethiopians, the Kenyans. It's like we have that luck. In those societies, man travel 6 miles to school and just run to school 6 miles and go back home. Easy pickings. So altitude is there. So the cardiovascular system is different. And so from the day one, we're hearing about the Ethiopians. We're hearing about the Kenyans winning long distance races. But sprinting is something that we never really hear much from Africans on the continent. Sprinting, we never hear about the speed. When we wanted speed now, we had to really come around into the Caribbean. And where did the Africans in the Caribbean really come from? The majority of them just came from the West Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, and even Central Africa. So I said to I know this idea of sports as competition, you think is a building tool? You think it's something that unites a society? Or is it something that causes more fracture? Makonnen, are you myself to know? You think sports is a unifying force, or sports is something that is used to more control and divide?
No, you see, sports in Jamaica, it is a unifying force.
Unifying force.
Yeah, absolutely a unifying force. The government has not yet mobilized itself to the extent where it can take control of the thing and turn it in a force for division. No, that don't happen. I don't even think them even thinking along those lines, because what you find, it might happen on the fringes, but it's not something that them plan. For example, during the time when we were qualifying for the World Cup, you can remember there was a period of time there when the World Cup and the politics did cross.
And the politics
merge, they did buck up. And it was the sports that win, because during the time that the games would be going on, you would find that not even ants are dead in the land when enough gun there.
It's going on. I hear the crime rate dropped a couple of days ago now, since we saw win some medal in Beijing.
All right. Well, that is what I'm saying. Yes. There's no question in my mind. It is a force that unites the people, and it seems to have the capacity to drain them of the desire to kill one another.
Each other.
Yes.
But why you think that is not sustainable on this island? It's a small place, 44,000 square miles.
Look here,
3 million people. Why the problem?
It might be sustainable, you know, but quite a few other things would have to happen. Well, when I say other things, you know, what I'm looking at is the fact that it is not as if there is a controlling person or personalities over how sports is impacting positively on the people. You don't have a body like how you'd have the Jamaica Athletic Association.
Yeah, so
that group don't really control the emotions of the people.
Okay.
No, it's not something that is like wholesale controllable. It is just something that is happening as a positive outcome of the games themselves. Because let us say that is a period of time when we are losing. You wouldn't expect the same outcome, you know. It's a whole different ball game.
Well, guess what? Okay, got you. Yeah.
Yes, you have to be winning. That winning is positive. And then you have to keep on winning, like in these games, you know, the world games.
Yeah.
You see, when Jamaica produce 5 medals in a one day, that would have come in like is a euphoric stimulant.
It's a high, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Consequently, the behavior of the people is a little woozy.
See.
But suppose it was a situation where at this point in the world games, Jamaica don't get no medal yet.
What do you think of that mean in the society?
There would be no unifying force coming out of the sport.
So then, so that the sport itself then is a unifying force then? Not really the sport of itself per se. It itself can lead to destruction then.
You'd have to accept, say, it can do the two things.
All right, so that's why I say no. It's both a unifying force and a divisive force. But depending on how...
The thing is that the people, how the government would have wanted it and how the people would have wanted it is really the same in this case.
Yes, in this case.
Yes, there's a strong desire on the part of every Jamaican to win. There was this this young lady named Danielle Williams. She impressed Iman 100%. She said, I never bother about the time them that the people them was doing because I see that those was better than me. I decide that once the race start, I just go run. And you see, when you broke it down to that, and you have the raw talent, somebody going to be in trouble.
All right. So Rastris just said that a Jamaican is anybody who can pass any test. The Jamaican can anyone that stands for anything. In other words, Rastris, anybody who can stand up to any test is a Jamaican.
Any test.
And I'm saying to that's not a personality, that's a what? That's not a who, you know.
Look here.
What is a Jamaican? A Jamaican, part of it is a person who can stand up to any test.
Stand up to any test. Is a personality trait, man.
Okay, a personality.
Yes.
So really and truly now, the whole notion of being a Jamaican, the whole notion of being black and being African is something that we really need to spend a little bit more time getting flexible with those notions. Because some of the time those identities are used in a destructive way, in a negative way. And sometimes it's a way we use it to unify ourselves. So in the world of sports now, we see that when, for example, the Reggae Boys represented Jamaica, there was a point in the team when Englishmen came in and the Reggae Boys had to put on the red, green and gold. The Jamaicans in the team had to begin to wear red, green and gold to show the other African Jamaicans who were English that them and them still not the same. So Rastafari now must have some role in bringing this convergence of identities. So it's about the black God now. If we have a black God, we have a umbrella under which we can unite easier? What do you say?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You see, in fact, it is the question of God that has separated us.
Mm-hmm.
So it is the same question that must unite us. The God of slavery, the God of this society, the God of this civilization, Jesus Christ, and all of the different permutations into which we find him, has not really done very much in terms of unifying these people. What that God has done is really frighten these people from day one, immediately after the slave ship did come for way. We have operated on the basis of fright, not unity. And that fright has continued to separate us, not unify
Not put us
us.
together.
No. So the concept of a black God, a God of our own construction, a God who we can actually feel because him is a part of us and we are a part of him.
Or her, or them.
From the original construction, that is our original construction. You know, that is where we can look to find unity. So it is through Rasta and the religion that is Rasta that so happen to be excessively and extremely dynamic. Because one has to understand, you know, that the fixed structures that govern Christianity don't bear no reference in the world of Rasta, you know. Because Rasta don't have those structures. Rasta is a young religion. We are presently setting our borders, exploring our boundaries, developing our theology. Whereas the European theology that they borrowed from the Jews is something that is presently going through decay and decline.
You see, in the world of sports,
yes,
me don't know which God have in the power in that, no, you know. Whether the God of a Rasta, or the God of white people, or the God of a Chinese, or the God of the Jew, you know. Me wonder if any God have any influence in that sport.
Well, what I would do, you see, my brother, is I would ask you to attend at a conference of the Europeans when them sending them team off and listen to the prayer that them pray.
It's the same prayer here the man in the Caribbean pray too.
Yeah, but you see when them a pray, things are happen for them.
Like what?
The European them?
Yeah, like what when them pray?
I man did don't say it already, Rasta. I man said them is in decay
and
decline.
But I work in them sports now. When them play football, which is one of them sports, and them a win. Them a win. Them in ascendancy.
Yeah, it don't mean, you know.
So it means for them God in ascendancy there?
Well, absolutely.
Well, I know. So then, what kind of that God is not in the world of politics? Then is a sports God. Then we want to know if there's a God of sports, separate from the God of enslavement and God of slavery and God of politics and economics.
No.
Are the same one?
Are the same. Look here. If we are talking about Fidem God, the one where I know about, the one where them attempted to brainwash I concerning, yes, it's the same God. Him have plenty name. At that time, man say, him come in a whole heap of different form. Him is the Father, him is the Son, and him is a Holy Ghost.
What kind of ghost?
Him is one, but him is three. Him is confusion.
The maths that?
Well, yes, that is for them maths too. According to Plato and Aristotle and all of those fellows. It just don't work out. But when it comes to sound good, yes, it sound good.
All right. We're going to just connect this forward again to the world of sports and our success. Because all of our athletes pray.
And the majority pray to the said European God.
To the same European God. But them a win.
All right.
So or you think them can, or you can rationalize that? Them pray to God and them win.
Look here.
Both, every time both win, both do the symbol and look up in the sky.
Amen.
So what that mean?
Watch I.
Yeah.
Watch I. You see, in the last European tribal war,
Yeah.
Italy, France, Germany, and I could say Poland. Before the war, like before them attack the enemy, which is them brother, you know.
Yeah.
Yes. Them pray to the said God.
All right.
Each one asking the God to give them the victory. You see, when the black people them join the line to pray to the said white God,
Yeah.
it's the same thing them doing. Each, like, just like how each tribe of European is praying to that said Jesus God.
Yeah.
When the black people them join the line, them is praying to the said Jesus God. The poor Jesus God is in a state of confusion because he must say, then how the German want me to make him win? How the English want me to make him win? How the Spanish want me? And the whole of them are brother. And then now see some one and two black man come now. And then in the same thing. And them want win too. You know what me I go do?
I know him do, you know.
What him do, my brother?
Run away. So where you do?
Run away.
Metamorphosis continuing. Dr. Iman Blak in studio, Bridging Ross McConnell. Healing all the people out there in the world. People right here on the rock of Jamaica. People right up on Titchfield Hill, Sir Dunstan and Romy. It's Roma and the people them who have played domino to death up on Titchfield Hill. Go on, drop the 6 love. You can't catch me though. Summerstone Road. Yes, heal up all the people in those corners. Heal the people in St. Thomas. I don't get the answer yet. How many corners you have to pass between Yallas and Morant Bay? I have a gift for you. Anybody who can tell me that. And Mackinnon, do you better try. There are so many corners and curves in the junction coming through from St. Mary. How many corners do you pass between Yallahs and Morant Bay? Yes, all Eastern people work that out. And of course, I hear the people who are in Cyberland, people who are attached to SilesFM.com, people who are at www.facebook, people who are linking on the Twitter. Yes, Size FM is the place to be, and on Friday nights it's the Metamorphosis with their host, Dr. Iman Blak. We're just looking at the period that we are in, considered to be a period of celebration. The whole month of August. Yes, even within my personal life, it is my Earth month, and one day is just not enough to celebrate. So my Earth Day will finish on the end of this month. 31 days is sufficient. Imagine you're born on a certain day, and you go wake up late that day there. By the time you get up the day done, you know, how can you celebrate? I don't get that. I take the month, and so every day is a day of celebration for the month of August. Right now, the nation is celebrating what's happening in Beijing. Makonnen, you know, say, I am on a little journey through the university walls. And at that place now, we were exposed to some theories about society and how society is constructed. Before I started my research, they told me that society can be looked at in two dimensions, that there are actually two aspects of society. One, they call it civil, and the next one, they call it political. And so most persons out there have the idea of a civil and a political society that collectively make up the whole thing called society. That is based upon binary thinking, of course, where it's an either or either. So it's either civil or political. Well, my research kind of opened another door that exposed another society, another dimension that was actually overlapping both the civil and the political.
Okay.
And that dimension was called the world of sport. Because sport is a society unto itself, it's a world, you know. It has its own history, it has its own organization, it has its own laws. But surprisingly, it's not so separate now from the political society. And they try to tell you that sport and politics should not mix. You ever hear that yet?
I hear about the church and the state. But I'm not so.
You know about sports and politics. You never hear that mixed yet?
No, as a matter of fact, the two of them is totally mixed.
Well, I think they're...
How them going separate?
Well, that has been the theory now.
Uh-huh.
And they're trying to insist that they can separate, but in the real world, you can't separate them.
No, I don't see no separation.
So,
because you mentioned when I was in the studio a little earlier, you mentioned that the sports is so powerful that there's little or no possibility that the politician them going to ignore it, you know, because as you say, it is a war.
Yes.
It is just that it is a
organized,
like a formally organized,
a socially acceptable way of warring.
So you see the possibility of separation when you look at it in that dimension. It's totally, it is not on the table.
I'll give you another example. In the world of civil and political society, we have organizations, government organizations, non-government organizations, groups, interest groups, and so on, right? In the world of sport, there are also organizations that have governing authority. It's just that the biggest one in the world doesn't belong to the civil society nor political society. The biggest organization in the world belongs to the world of sports.
Which one you calling the biggest one?
FIFA.
Yes.
The football governing body of the world is the biggest political organization. Because if you're a governing body, you know, it means you have political power. Because you can govern.
Yes.
But FIFA governs the world. So there is a world government. But they don't teach you that about in civil society, because they talk about state governments. And civil society speak about state and national governments. They don't talk about a world government. So in athletics, the IAAF is a world body. The same thing for Olympics. So sports then becomes a world of governed by, you understand, in other words, there are several world governing bodies in the world of sport.
Yes.
That have more connection than even the United Nations. So when people try to separate sports from politics, they try to create an illusion.
It's just one thing though. You say the United Nations.
Yeah.
Them don't have that unifying capability that
Like,
the sporting
they
bodies
don't,
have.
they don't.
They
don't.
absolutely don't.
They don't.
But what them have is the military clout.
Exactly.
So whereas if you cannot win in sports,
Yeah.
it's like dog nyam your supper.
Okay.
In the UN business, them will bomb you.
Well,
Them will wipe you out. That is you have to depend them side.
level, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the point we really want to make before we kind of get out of this thing is that the sportsmen have a way to become politicians when they retire. And a lot of politicians have a way to go into sports governance when they retire.
Oh.
So in Jamaica now, men like Siaga, men like Davis, them link up themselves with clubs and teams.
You see.
So there's no disconnection now between the politics and the sports.
I'm going to say something about the brethren Siaga. Look here. You say film generation.
Yeah.
From 1962. When we say film generation, I talk about politics.
Yeah.
From 1962 until right now is a long story of failure.
Irrespective of his failure.
Irrespective of film failure.
In Trinidad and Tobago, Wesley R became a politician. He was a cricketer.
Yes.
And Imran Khan in Pakistan became a politician. Pele was a minister of government in Brazil.
Yes.
So the point I am making that the sportsmen have the potential to become political leaders.
And a lot of them do.
And in Jamaica, we're not getting that from our sportsmen. They're not recognizing that they must organize themselves to move into the arena of politics and here to govern this place properly. Because they're actually coming from the grassroots with basic experience, international training, understand the people. And so we must encourage more of our sports persons to begin to get into Jamaican politics and face up the man them in it who have no interest in Jamaica.
Not only interest, them don't have the skill, the basic skill
Not
set
at all.
for run
the country.
No.
So we have said the sportsmen them and the sportswomen must rise up in them post-sporting career and move towards governance.
Well, you see, even the statue presently accorded to Bolt,
Yeah.
it put him in a position where he's primed in terms of if it should ever come to that. Him could really, because the people then would automatically
know him,
embrace him.
So
yeah.
we have to know our sportsmen, we have the potential to, and sports is an arena for developing leadership, you know. If you can't lead yourself in a sports, you can't lead a team, you know.
Well, you can take the young lady there, the one who did put her picture up on the internet.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, remember, it says is a sports background she coming from, you know.
Who's that?
Hannah.
Lisa Hannah coming from sports background?
Yes, man.
Hey, what kind of sports you used to play? Beauty contest or
Beauty
sports?
contest.
Metamorphosis. Run something. Who knows?
message and me see a way. Drastically straight from hypocrisy I say, hey. Every man to them own a philosophy. I live the proper way and then me read a chapter daily. Man they in a city hungry and no eat. And food they down a country just a drop off of the tree then. You see say poverty no real then. Is what the reason revealing.
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I just go where the trade wind blows. Sending love to my friends and foes. And I suppose I'm pleased to be chilling in the West Indies. I provide all my wants and needs. I got the sunshine, rivers and trees. Green leaves, yeah.
When the rain pits up at on the roof, herb just a steam pepper pot on the stew. Life is a dream if you got gratitude. So go tell the regime them can't stop what we do now. Information you think on your own, or else you're a slave to the things that you know. What do you know if you learn every day? So be careful of things where you say.
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I just go where the trade wind blows. Sending love to my friends and foes. And I suppose I'm pleased to be chilling in the West Indies. I provide all my wants and needs. I got the sunshine, rivers and trees. Green leaves.
Africa in our soul, but a Jah in our heart. It is of importance for I and I gather. If we cannot show now a balance that we had, how do we propose then to carry it abroad? Cannot go to Ethiopia and you not have a plan. The building of a nation and a helper on. Every one a lover, one a man is just a man. It shall be a coronation when we land.
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Yes, wow. Still I see I give me the remedy, the fire figure burn. After the tables turn, give me the remedy, the fire figure blaze. Burn Babylon dirty way. Hey, shot. Eternal fire, dirty Babylon, you are gonna get bruised. Me, I want them fire.
Of course, I'm hearing of Lover and Walker who just linked me up through the Facebook. You know, you can always link me on Facebook, you know, Doc Iman Blak, DOCIMAN BLAK, or you can check me on my Metamorphosis page. It's capital METAMORPHOSIS. So this person said that Lisa Hanna has a black belt, martial arts also. So let me say, we better watch it. Oh, watch it. Oh, you think I will tell you what kind of belt me have? Me have belt too, you know. Yeah, mama, some belt, some Rasta belt.
I will have confidence in that area, Rasta.
Yes, I. But so it go. But we're here, and in the Metamorphosis, we're exploring ideas, and we're looking into the realm of sports, its connection to society. The fact that sports has the potential to transform this particular place called Jamrock, where we are the sprint capital of the world. And why is it we can't turn that sprint into finances and better social behavior? What is it the governance need to do to save themselves? Because we're going to get more violent. And the next place we're going to direct our attention to is the Governor General. Because we think the politicians don't have the answer. And since the Governor General represents the Queen, we may have to begin to launch an Occupy King's House campaign where we just march go to King's House and sit down till the Governor General leave.
This would cause great distress to the Queen of England.
Well, that's what we need. We need her to be distressed. She's too happy. And if we go on the Governor General premises and sit down and just whole camp for a week, we now left King's House till the Governor General leave Jamaica.
What about the American bombs?
What about them?
They will bomb us.
No, man, they can't bomb the Governor General. They can't bomb the Governor. But stay close to him, you know. Yeah, man. But, hey, you remember Occupy Wall Street? And all them Occupy thing? We for Occupy King's House, you know.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, man.
I like it. It's
yeah, because we don't make sense to go to Porsche Gates.
I was just, advising you to be cautious because they will carpet bomb us.
Well, let's see if them do that. The rest of the Africans, them in the Caribbean, will take action, I think.
All right, my brother.
Yes.
We just have to be careful with America and their bombs.
No, we can't careful anymore because we've been careful for so long that they was bombing us carefully. You figure the man going to church and shoot us down carefully?
I have a distinct recollection,
Right.
yes.
Metamorphosis. We give thanks for thy presence and for Cassidy's silence and keeping the thing moving, you know. And of course, we have a guest, a female persona in the studio that has been balancing it off. We're not saying about identity, or we can say it's a female. And everything is everything. Styles FM, Metamorphosis, people of the world. Jamaica is a attitude. It's a survival attitude. I think that Jamaican is a survival attitude. Yeah, it's not a type of person. But that's a personality still. So what you say? Rastafari, we could just stop the confusion. That's true.
And stop it right
And
now.
stop it right now.
Yeah.
Peace, prosperity. Iman Blak, out.